Used bike crisis. Why is a good used bike deal so hard to find? I'm sorry, how much? Indulge me for a moment. Open a tab on your browser and search eBay for a 2008 Yamaha R1. Done it? Okay, so you can see that a decent 10,000 mile 10-year-old R1 will set you back the thick end of $6,000. At least, that's what sellers are asking. Yeah, how much? It's not just 10-year-old R1s holding their value. 2008 blades are around the same money, so are most sports bikes of a similar vintage. Private stuff is going crackers at the moment, says Vinnie Styles, sales manager at Wheels Motorcycles in Peterborough. I'm looking at people advertising stuff at prices that are just bonkers, he says. For example, GSXR 750s are crazy money now. People want $6,000 for a K8 750. Just how much crazy becomes clear with some number crunching. Yamaha's 2008 4C8 R1 underseat pipes, the last model before the 2009 cross-plane crank R1, is a good machine, but it's no classic. Its list price was £8,999. But, as the 2009 model approached, dealers discounted down to £8,000 to shift stock. Which means now, your 10-year-old, $6,000 R1 has lost around 25% of its original value, or, if you factor in inflation, around 40%. So why are our used bikes so expensive? One theory is high second-hand values today are the result of the 2009 credit crunch, and the parallel export phenomenon. Back then, bike dealers up and down the country reported a rise in entrepreneurs and dealers from across continental Europe coming to the UK to buy up stocks of new UK bikes, driven by a dramatic change in foreign exchange rates that made our bikes good value over there. The price differential was so great it threw up crazy scenarios. For example, if you lived next to the KTM factory in Matthaufen, Austria, and you wanted a new RC8R, you could save over £8,000 on the local price, the equivalent of £22,500, by travelling to the UK and buying one here instead, for £14,000. So it's hardly surprising a steady stream of new UK bikes vanished into Europe. Total numbers are impossible to tally, but the movement didn't last long. As the credit crunch hit the value of the Japanese yen, UK prices rocketed. By 2012 the blade had gone up from £9,221 in 2007 to £11,300, which made it a lot less attractive to overseas buyers. It's caused partly by exchange rate but as much by short supply in their markets, reckons Mark. Because taxation in their markets is very high, it's cheaper to buy used stuff from over here and take it into their country. The difference can be huge. In terms of the used market, I'd guess dealers selling UK bikes on the continent are making 50% again on what they're buying them for over here. So obviously they'll be going round trying to hoover up that middle ground of used bike. Bill Cox from Fast Track: yes, bikes are being bought and exported abroad, he says. But it's not causing a problem, he maintains. Percentage-wise we sell very little into Europe. This year we've sold a total of around 5 bikes, but it's a growing trend and we're getting more inquiries. Vinnie is clear where the problem lies. Strong used values are being driven by people selling their own bikes, so dealers can't go round and scoop them up. Like most dealers, we'll sit there on eBay, phone up a bike that's been on there for 10 minutes and they'll have had 2 dealers on already. And then they expect you to come and get it that night. Now, in the old days, says Vinnie, I'd say, look, I'm a dealer, you wanna sell it and I wanna sell it for you, so to do that I need to come out to you, give it a service, put some warranty on it, and still have some meat on it, and I think people would have some sympathy and understanding with that. Now, people think, nah, don't worry, someone else will buy it. So we're seeing fewer part exchanges come in on deals, because people can sell their bike on for a few £100 more, and why wouldn't you? So my advice is, if prices are strong privately, try your dealer. We have a saying at the moment, the cheapest bikes are in dealers, not in people's garages. Or, alternatively, you could nip across to Germany and buy a used UK bike there instead. But if I were you, I'd do it before we leave the EU.